Across the RGV, two city officials and Edcouch are facing federal charges. The city manager and the mayor pro tem were arrested by the FBI. Our Janelle Tanguma breaks down these charges.
A federal indictment against Edcouch City Manager Victor Hugo de la Cruz and Mayor Pro Tem Rene Flores reveals that the two city officials allegedly committed bribery and corruption by paying a local marketing firm a total of $6,000 for services and receiving $2,000 in kickbacks. The marketing firm is believed to be Pink Ape Media Consulting from Brownsville. According to a federal grand jury subpoena given to the city of Edcouch this year, the city was asked to turn over any information regarding contracts, payments, or business with Pink Ape Media LLC. Before being hired as the city manager in 2019, De La Cruz worked for Pink Ape Media as a chief marketing director. And in a twisting turn of events, a 2020 trial involving the Brownsville School Board trustee revealed that Rodrigo Moreno Fernandez, the owner and creator of Pink Ape Media Consulting, is actually an FBI informant. In 2023, the FBI raided Edcouch City Hall as part of an investigation into the city's regulation of game rooms. City Manager De La Cruz was part of that initial investigation, but it's unclear if that led to his arrest by the FBI.
And of course, we did reach out to the mayor. He says that the city's cooperating with the investigation. We also spoke to some Edcouch residents who wish not to be on camera, where some believe that it is a respectable city with no problems.
Yeah, so what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video of my channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Excuse me. Yeah, more and more stories are coming out here in the region where I live of corruption, of public official corruptions, public official committing corruption, excuse me. Yeah, these sort of topics and stories interest me because I truly believe politics as a concept of society, of, just a part of our civilization, is supposed to be a tool for good and for positive results. We as humans, we are very animalistic in our behavior, and politics and government is supposed to bring that chaos element of human beings and put some order in it so that we can all live peacefully, and can hopefully thrive in this society and in this planet named Earth. And so I think it's also a tool to help those that are most in need. Unfortunately, some of these assholes who run for public office, who sell the public who they are trying to get to vote for them a bag of false goods. In other words, just a bag full of shit. They say what sounds pretty during the campaign, and on the campaign trail, they sound like the most populist, pro worker, pro poor people, pro everyday man candidate. But once they get into office, they violate that trust that the people put in them, and they only use their seats that they were put in by the public to enrich themselves, and while at the same time ripping off the very same people that voted for them and that are depending on them really to try to at least make their lives somewhat better. When there's corruption, guys, what happens? Funds are misappropriated. Money that's supposed to be for the public is kept, and it goes to the pockets of these dumbass idiots, fucking assholes that only use that money to enrich themselves, benefit themselves, and not benefit the public. So you have things like public utilities that are not up to par, or do not are not up to the standard that they are supposed to be, so that people can enjoy their everyday life. So you have like electricity poles, or the infrastructure that brings electricity to people's houses and streets are not at the level that they have to be, or at the standard they have to be, so that they can properly function. So that makes it harder to live your everyday life if you're a resident of one of these cities. your drainage, your drainage is a very basic component of civilization, right? That's why we don't have these sort of deadly diseases that we once had when we had no drainage infrastructure. But your drainage doesn't get fixed. It's not updated. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to be. So you have to deal with that sort of filth when people like these corrupt officials pocket that money instead of putting it towards the community. You have things like other simple things like potholes in the street. Everybody uses these public roads to get to work, to get from work, back home from work, to get to the store, just to do your everyday necessities. And you have all these potholes, especially in this city. I've been to this city. I've been to the city hall, and it's a burden on people. It's a nuisance on people. You're driving down the road and you're driving all over potholes, and your vehicle is eventually going to break down, and it's an extra cost, and it's just a sty in the eye of people that live in this city and that visit this city and this region, right? It's not a beautiful or pretty thing to see. A functioning city and government is supposed to have certain basic things taken care of, and corrupt people don't allow that, and it makes it harder on the citizens to live and to get what they need. And that's where I'm coming from. That's why I want to make these videos, to talk about the sort of corruption that goes on in my region. I'm sure it goes on in a lot of other regions. Chicago, we have that super mayor over there in one of the areas around Chicago itself. All over the United States, there's corruption. I'm just talking about what goes down here. We live by the border, the effects that has. And so you have this city, right, at Edcouch, Elsa, that was raided in 2023, but the arrest of some of these public officials came in 2024. So you all saw the scenes there where it's being raided. It's a very small city hall. It's a very small city. I mean, you have around 5,000 people, really. I mean, maybe 7,000 to 8,000 people total population. But these assholes in their elected official positions, they're making upwards of $100,000 salaries just because they're these elected officials, plus the kickbacks they're receiving from their corruption scheme. So in this scheme that led to this arrest, the scheme that led to this arrest is that the city of Edcouch, Elsa, under the guidance of these two people, the city manager and the mayor pro tem, meaning the vice mayor, you want to call it. How the presidents have a vice president. Well, the mayors usually, not every city, depending on the charter, have a mayor pro tem, meaning the second in command. And so both of these assholes reached out to a consulting firm to do some work for them, some political work for them. And they said, hey, we'll give you $6,000. But the agreement was, the kickback was that out of the $6,000, you're going to give me $2,000 back. Now, there's been more than that, right? It's not like this is all over $2,000. No. There's been more money flowing around. So in these types of situations, what happens? So if a city needs a consulting firm, to do a job, whatever that job is, whether it be marketing, advertisement, political advisement, stuff like that, what's supposed to happen in a competitive free market system is that you're supposed to receive bids from all these companies that focus on consulting, and you're supposed to select not only the best that provides the best service, but the best price, because you're receiving that money. You're using that money to pay the firm from the budget, from the city's budget. Meaning what? You're using the money that you're paying this consulting firm from is from the people itself, the citizens of the city. You're stealing their money, assholes. So they pay these consulting firms $6,000, and then the elected officials, get $2,000 to pocket for themselves back. So this happened over and over again. That's why they're being the FBI is not messing around. The Southern District of Texas is not messing around when it comes to rooting out political corruption. It's something that has plagued this region for years, for decades. We've had a sheriff been arrested, and a sheriff's son been arrested, and their office is raided for helping to smuggle drugs and assist drug cartel members in smuggling drugs in their own units. This is a type of shit that goes on and pisses me off, because people are put in danger and the people's trust is violated, and it really leaves a stain in our region. If you're gonna run for office, do it for the betterment and the good of the people. Don't do it for the betterment and the good of yourself. You can do a lot more jobs that benefit only you, to where you don't have to betray people and fuck over people. Stop stealing people's money. That's exactly what happens. And so I'm very happy that these two assholes were arrested. I'm pretty sure, the FBI doesn't mess around. Also, the U.S. Southern District of Texas does not mess around. For them to bring these charges, there has to have been something there. For the city hall to be raided, there has to be something there. And so we're gonna see what happens as far as how this plays out. If this is gonna go to trial, or a plea deal is gonna come out. But I do believe that none of these individuals should continue to work in the city hall. It really hurts the city hall's legitimacy and credibility. Nobody believes the mayor when he says, hey, we're aware, but that's not what the city is about. I mean, I wouldn't doubt, allegedly, this is all alleged, I wouldn't doubt that the mayor knew and had something to do with this as well. I think that every corrupt public official that lives on this earth should be arrested and thrown into the jail's gutter. They should just be buried in jail and not let out, because corruption is one of the worst things you can do for a civilized society. So that's my video. Thank y'all, guys. That's my opinions. What do y'all think? Please support the channel, guys. This is the type of stuff that I'm interested in, type of things that I focus on. I know it's not the real mainstream political banter that goes on in the news. The Republicans and Democrats did this. These are all some are Democrats, some are Republicans. It really doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that no corruption continues to happen in my region. So please support the channel by subscribing, liking the video. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have a good